All right, Alex, in this video, I got to say I'm very excited because I'm going to be able to point out all of the improvements you've made since the beginning of March. But first, I want to talk about the professional pitcher that I'm going to compare you to, and that's Randy Johnson. And I'm going to compare you to Randy Johnson for several reasons. Reason number one is where you release the ball. You can see here where you release it, very similar to where Randy Johnson releases it. And as a pitching coach, what I want to be able to do is match you up with a professional that has a very similar arm slot as you, because one thing we never change on a pitcher is their arm slot. And so we can look at this right here, and you can see that you're a perfect match in terms of your arm angle and your arm slot. And so since you two are perfect matches, you're going to want to kind of emulate yourself after a guy like Randy Johnson. Now, the second reason why I want to emulate and use Randy Johnson as your model is because both of you guys are very similar in terms of the types of pitchers that you're going to be. You're both tall, you're both lanky, and you're both going to be power pitchers. Randy Johnson, when he pitched, he was a dominating force, and part of that was because he threw with great velocity, and he was a very imposing force on the mound. And that's going to be the same case with you when you get to the varsity level and possibly even the college level. So with that in mind, what I want to go ahead and do here, now that we've looked at your most recent clip, is I want to pull up your old clip. And I want to show you some places in which you weren't quite getting the job done. Okay? And so give me a second here. I'll pull up the old clip from back in March. And here you see yourself on the right-hand side. And here's Randy Johnson. And the first thing that we're going to do is take both of you guys to your foot strike position. And you can see here on the left-hand side with Randy Johnson, we've talked a lot about where your glove needs to be when this front foot hits the ground. And you can see his glove's in a good position, and his arms are equal and opposite of each other. Now, in contrast with you, your glove was swinging way out away from your body, and you didn't have equal and opposite arm angles. Instead, you had one elbow here, and then one elbow down here. Another thing that we've talked about as pitchers is being able to stay closed with our front shoulder for as long as we possibly can. And so you can see here with Randy Johnson, his front shoulder is pointed towards his target when his front foot lands. Now, in contrast with you, your front shoulder was pointed out this way when your front foot landed. And as a result, you're not going to be as powerful or as balanced or as in command of your fastball. Now, the next thing we're going to do is take both you and Randy Johnson to your release points, as you can see right here. And the one big difference you're going to notice is the glove. You can see with Randy Johnson, the glove's out over his knee, close to his chest, and that helps him release at a very strong and powerful position. Whereas with you, your glove was way down here, away from your chest, behind your knee, and so you're not as powerful in this position. And you'll see when Randy Johnson releases the ball, because of that great release point, when he finishes, he's in a great position to field the ball if it's hit back at him. He's in a balanced, good fielding position. Whereas with you, because your glove was pulling away from you, when you went to finish, you can see here how you're falling away from your target. And as a result, this is not a good position to be in when a ball's coming back at you. So, with that in mind, the next thing I want to do is pull up your most recent clip back in May 8th, and we're going to talk about some ways that you've improved. So here you go. This is May. We'll take you and Randy Johnson to your foot strike position. And what I'm going to do really quickly is just go ahead and play these simultaneously one time through. All right, now that you've seen that, let's go ahead right to the foot strike position and let's talk about the improvements that you've made. Number one, Randy Johnson's glove is out over his front knee, close to his chest. You'll see the same thing here with you. Gloves out, and that's a great position to be in. Number two, you can see that Randy Johnson's elbows are equal and opposite of each other. And although you guys get to like different arm positions here, you can see that your back elbow is now even with your front elbow. So that's fantastic. That's a wonderful thing right there. And as we get you into your release points, you'll notice that both you and Randy Johnson are doing some very effective things. You'll see here with Randy, gloves fixed and firm close to his chest, out over his knee. You'll see the same thing here with you. And then when you guys finish, as a result, both of you guys are in a great place, a great position to make a play if the ball's hit back at you. So really, Alex, I'm really excited about those improvements. And I want to end this video with comparing old and new. So we're going to pull up your old video, and we're going to match it side by side by your new video, just so you can get a sense of how much you've improved in a very short period of time. So we'll get both of you guys to your foot strike position. This is when your front foot hits the ground. Again, you can see where your glove's at here and where your lead elbow is at here, where your shoulder's at, how it's pointed away from your target. In contrast, now your glove's in a great position. Your elbows are equal and opposite of each other, and your shoulder is much more closed. And then if we take you to your finish position, your release point, if we just go back, this is amazing. Watch where your glove goes here as you go to release, away from your body, away from your target. And then over here on the right-hand side, watch how your glove goes towards your target, closer to your body, in a very powerful position. I mean, that's absolutely amazing. And so this is exactly what we want. And back in March, this is not what we wanted. And now, as you release, great release point. That ball's working down on a downward plane. I mean, you could just see if I go back here, watch this ball come out of your hand and watch the angle that the ball's going in. Kind of stays flat, doesn't work downhill as much. Now over here, watch when the ball comes out of your hand, how it's working down in the zone. That's just amazing. And when you finish, on the left-hand side, you can see how you're falling off, not in a good position to make a play. Whereas on the right-hand side, you're balanced and you're ready to go. So I got to say, bud, those are phenomenal improvements. I'm really excited about your progress. Let's keep it up. In the future videos, we'll talk about some ways that you can get better.